Hello, beautiful creatures of the world, and welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. It is a beautiful day in the far north of Maine, up along the Canadian border. It was a wee bit chilly this morning. I was out at the barn at 5:30 this morning, and there was a thin skim of ice across the water troughs. You know what that means, Aroostook County? That means winter is a knocking on our doorstep in the crown of Maine. I hope everybody is having a beautiful fall day wherever you may be. I hope you're having a day filled with fabulosity and dang good coffee, because everybody deserves a good cup of coffee. If you're drinking that dirty dishwater coffee, just throw it on out. You don't need that aggravation during the day. Get yourself a nice, warm, bold, aromatic, strong, dark, sexy smile in a cup. Get you through your day. We're doing things a little bit differently around here. If you're joining me on Podbean, welcome to my podcast. I've been podcasting for a while, just not on your platform. Podbean is now the proud, well, maybe it's not the proud distributor. It is the distributor of my podcast. If you're joining me on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, or Pandora, nothing but the sound quality should have changed for you. We're having a bit of a problem because Spotify changed their podcast creator thing that you upload to and it gets everywhere in the world. So we're now trying the Podbean. So hopefully your sound quality is amazing. If you're on the audio only, 5-star rating, please. We talk about a different thing every day. Show's always different. If you are joining me on YouTube or the Mean Green Freedom of Speech platform, rhymes with crumble, begins with an R, you're seeing me in a different angle because YouTube tells me all your dirty little secrets. Every single person who watches me. You don't even have to be subscribed. You just have to watch my channel once. One video, and I get all the analytics. The analytics have been telling me that 10% of my video views are coming from people who own them big, gigantic TV sets mounted on your wall, 52 million inches and all. I don't know why y'all doing it, but y'all doing it. And I have had subscribers let me know that they do watch this show on those big TV screens mounted on their wall that are 97 inches. I'm but a wee little dot when I film in vertical. So here we are, filming in widescreen. Moral of the story, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, let's talk about Tren de Argara, the gang that is taking over the United States of America. This is a Venezuelan criminal gang. They have been let out of the Venezuelan prisons. They have murdered Venezuelans. They have robbed Venezuelans. They have done horrifying things to women and children in their own country. They are huge drug dealers in Venezuela and now in the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, last month I told you about Tren de Argara and how they took over the Argara, Colorado apartments. Now, some people that I know personally, in real life, told me that it was fake news, that it was something that Trump said, because legacy media wasn't reporting on it. Legacy media has not been reporting on this, and it has become a huge problem. This is a swept under the rug problem. The gangs were taking over and continue to take over apartment complexes in Argara, Colorado. These criminals, prisoners from Venezuela, are sneaking over the border. Well, they're not really sneaking over the border, are they? They're just strolling on in through our open border policies. Thank you, Biden-Harris. They are letting Border Patrol know that they need asylum. They are receiving debit cards. They are receiving cell phones. They are receiving bus tickets to anywhere in the United States that they want to go. They are receiving free housing in hotels. They are receiving housing in shelters. They are receiving housing in schools that have been turned into migrant shelters. So American children in some cities are not going to school because their schools are now designated migrant, illegal, criminal, alien, migrant shelters, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world. That should burn your rear end. Your tax dollars are paying for this. And now, Tren de Argara is spreading across the country, taking over apartment complexes and displacing Americans from their homes. Coming soon to a neighborhood near you. You see, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, this is the problem with sanctuary cities. The problem being, nothing is done in sanctuary cities as far as crime goes. When an illegal criminal alien is picked up for committing a crime, aside from the crime of having broken into our country, but committing a crime, robbing, stealing, all of that stuff from people in the neighborhood, it's a catch and release deal. The laws in sanctuary cities do not allow for criminal, illegal aliens to be put into our jail system. So they do a crime, they get picked up, they are released. So now nobody's picking them up because why bother? If you live in a sanctuary city, all I have to say to you is you keep voting for these ridiculous policies. You actually deserve what you get. But for those of us in the country who do not live in these sanctuary cities, we do not want this shit on our doorstep. Thank you very much. Because of your piss poor decisions, keep voting this crap in, and you are going to live in a third world hellhole. And we who do not vote this crap in do not want to participate in living in your third world hellhole in the United States of America. Now, Tren de Argara has taken over 4 apartment complexes in San Antonio, Texas. They are active in Miami, in Denver, Colorado, in Aurora, Colorado. Now they have 4 apartment complexes in San Antonio, Texas. Tren de Argara. They deal in a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world. They deal in cocaine. They deal in human smuggling. They deal in human trafficking. They pimp out women and children. And now they are displacing American citizens from their apartments. They are in New York City. They sure are. They are recruiting illegal criminal alien migrant youth into the gangs because the illegal criminal alien migrant youths, in case the police decide that they want to enforce the laws that don't exist in sanctuary cities, in case the law enforcement does actually pick up these young gang members between the ages of 11 and 15 years old, they're juveniles. So nothing would really happen to them, will they? They are taking over the hotels. They are taking over schools. They are the schools that have been turned into migrant shelters, as I've said. They are taking over homeless shelters. They are taking over the parks in New York City. These young kids, they are brandishing weapons out on the street. They started pinching pocketbooks. That's how it started with the young children. Now they are brandishing weapons and doing armed robberies on the streets of New York. In particular, a young gang of children, 11 to 15-year-olds, are walking around New York City as part of Tren de Argara, and they dub themselves Diablos de la 42, which means the devils of 42nd Street. And they are targeting locals, and they are targeting tourists, and they are committing armed robbery in Times Square. Nothing to see here, folks. Don't worry about it. That's what legacy media is telling us. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, I never thought I would live to see this crap going on in our country. I never thought I would live to see the day where homeless Americans and homeless veterans are on the streets, absolutely ignored, while criminals from the prison system of another country waltz on through our southern border. Some of them are coming through the northern border. Don't worry about it. We'll get to that in a different story. Because our illegal criminal alien border crossings in the north right here on the border of Canada, they're up 170%. They're just waltzing across the borders. And now They're displacing American citizens from their homes. This is absolutely and positively unacceptable. The governors of these states should be highly embarrassed. The leaders of these cities should be highly embarrassed about what is going on. They are turning our cities from coast to coast into third world hellholes. What do you do about it? Well, you deport them all. Get rid of them all, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world. You vote your politicians that are allowing this crap to happen in your community. You vote them out of office. Get people into office that want to make your street safer, that want to make your life safer. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, there are 18 days until the election in the US of A. There are a lot of stories. They're in and out of the news cycle. The news is moving at such a rapid pace. It's in the cycle, it's out of the cycle. It's like wildfire. When you go to the voting booth in these areas, ask yourself if life is better today under the Biden-Harris, we're hyphenating them. She's not going to get out of it. Not on this channel. Ask yourself if life is better under the Biden-Harris open border policy if you live in these areas. And vote accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, be the kindness that you want to see in the world. Don't be part of Tren de Argara. Do not be part of the Devils of 42nd Street, Diablos de la 42. Actually, you know what needs to happen? I know these kids were sent here. They're illegal criminal migrants. And they were sent across the border without their mothers. We need to get the mothers across the border with the flip-flops. Mothers of Venezuela. Do you know what your tiny children are doing in this country? Honestly, you need to get the flip-flop out. Your children are running amok. You need them back in your country with you. Do not be part of the Tren de Argara. Super gang, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, and Carpe Diem. Because no one promised you a tomorrow.